Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we're gonna finish wiring up. I got that side all tore apart. We're gonna show you what was entailed on doing that. It wasn't too bad, but CFMOTO, you can shove those plastic clips right in those holes. Anyway, and while I was in there, I found a little something that can and will be useful to you, all of you guys. We'll talk about that here towards the end of the video. But first, I wanted to go around and kind of show you what I did to wire this puppy and how I'm organizing all the wires and all of that stuff. So without further ado, let's get into that. But don't forget, for all your clutch kits, air filters, accessories, anything you need for your CFMOTO, check out my website, www.rngperformance.net, and also check out our hat. We have a hat on my website. If you scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page, you'll see a link that'll take you to my merch store. And there you can find my hats, my hoodies, and that also helps support the channel. And I want to thank you guys for all of that. I've noticed that a lot of you have been buying my merch. I've also noticed that every time I drop a video telling you about a product, I'm sold out in like 2 hours. It's crazy, but I thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. With that said, let's get into the video. All right, so what we did here is we ran wires and we labeled them. So this is for the reverse lights. This is for the LED whip. And what we did was we ran it all and tucked it all in under here, which is super easy to do. That just pops out. That comes off. We took the whole side off and ran a bunch of wires all the way back here. And what we did back here was we got everything all labeled. This one's labeled as well. This is going to go for the reverse light that's going on the headache rack. This one here is going for the LED whips right there. And it'll all be ran across there. We ran some across there already and got it all zip tied along there. This will be that same way. It'll be nice and clean, tucked out of the way. One thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is how to take off these. So you're going to have a bunch of clips and you're going to have a bunch of bolts. You're going to have 2 bolts there, 2 bolts there, 2 bolts, a bunch of bolts underneath here. Real easy, actually. You're going to have some clips here and here. Same with here and here. And you're going to have a 10mm bolt there. You're going to have a 10mm bolt there. And same thing for that side. And then it all literally just pops right off. Guys, I'd like to show you exactly how this goes on. That way you'll know exactly how it comes off. And so this one goes here, right like that, just like so. We're just gonna get down here and pop it on like so. We're gonna get our bolts, put our bolts through there. I mean, it's very easy. It's not real hard at all. Just like so. We take our clips, pop our push pins right inside here. Do this one right inside there. Now there's 2 bolts that go up here, which are these ones. Super, super easy. It's not as hard as you think that it is. Now we got majority of this on. Let's go ahead and get the other piece on. Take this piece right here. Pop it right on. Right back here is going to be some push clips. Just 2 of them. That's all we need for right now down here. We got a couple of 10mm bolts. One is gonna go right here, just like so. That's gonna go there. Another 10mm bolt. $10mm bolt right there. Then this cover here just clips right on. Now guys, I'm showing you this just in case you buy one and you want to run wires. Removing these are so easy. They're not really that hard. Not that difficult, and it makes running wires so easy. Trust me, super easy. There is a lot of push clips on this little plastic here. We have 2 wire clips right here, right there, right there. Then we have 2 more, boom and boom. super easy. Now we just have a bunch of bolts that go down through here. I'm gonna run those in, super easy. I mean, it's pretty much, you can tell which ones. There's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them that have to come out. Super easy. 2 different sizes though, and they're hex, of course. Now that thing I found, it was tucked way down in here. It's actually connected right to the battery, and what this does is you can connect it to a battery tender. Pretty neat. I thought that was cool that they come installed like that. I would love to have like a plug to where I could just have it mounted so I can just plug it into the side or something along those lines. But nonetheless, even just having it down in here, that's pretty cool, pretty nifty. Now you guys were wondering how I was tying in a second battery. Now this is how I did it. You can do it a different way, but there is limited space, as you've seen, to run wires along that rail. Not so much back in there, but up in here. So you could remove the floor pan and put wires in there, but it's real tight. And since I have the amp wire running in there, it already takes up a lot of room. So this is what I did. I come off of the winch, the power of the winch, and I went to this power distribution block. Now, I talked about this in another video. It's there for pretty much no reason. Then we come off of there and we come into the fuse box, which I talked about in another video. That goes to this control panel. I sell those on my website, rngperformance.net. But I came from here into a fuse block, which this whole wire is fused by the main fuse in the rig. So this is all fused link, but what I wanted to protect is the wire that runs from here over to that battery. So I bought another one of these because we're putting 2 in. So I put one here, ran this wire down around, up in, and it comes in right here. This is going to go to another one of those fuse blocks. It's going to get cleaned up quite a bit, and then from the fuse block to the battery. That way it's protected on both sides of that. And the reason that I did that is because you run that wire through the metal frame. If something would happen, it's going to trip, should trip, both of those on both sides. That way it protects your components on that battery, which is on this side of it, and the second battery, which is on this side of it. So theoretically it should trip, but nonetheless it is saved by that fuse back there, which would save the machine wiring harness. But that fuse back there does us no good for this battery up here. This battery is grounded to the frame, but it is powered over there. I hope that makes sense. And I know a lot of you are gonna say, Red, why didn't you put a battery isolator in? Well, I just didn't like the idea of that. And not to mention, if I want to only drain the battery right there instead of the battery on the machine, I can trip this breaker or that breaker. So it's real easy. These have an on-off, well, they're breakers. So they're not really an on-off switch, but you're not going to use it every day, all day. So you could trip either one of them and it would stop taking power from the rest of the machine. So all of the accessories, the radio, the whole 9 yards will run off of that one battery if this is tripped or that one's tripped. Well, it would be that one we couldn't turn off, but this one we could. So we'd have to trip this one here. That's how we would turn off that second battery, basically. In order for me to do that, I would have to take this power wire right here and move it over to here. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do, is take this red wire right here and move it over to here. So then it will just be isolated to that one battery. However, we're not ding-dongs. We don't run our accessories for very long. Maybe the radio, we'll run it for a few hours. Not this radio, but like my radio over there, it'll run for about 4 hours before I have to start the buggy. This one here on low, it would probably run about 3 or so without starting the buggy, especially on 2 batteries. But we don't really do that. We're not really gonna do that. And if I do that, we're not gonna have the buggy off for too long. So I just wanted to show you guys the clean wiring job that's going into this. I do still have to hook these into the fuse block, and I'm still debating whether I want to add the other 4 light pods or not. I don't know yet, but I do know the front bumper that we're doing, you guys haven't really seen it yet. Some of you may have, Some of you may have not, but it's getting 2 bumper pods. The bumper pods are flush mount, so it's gonna get 2 on each side. And I'm doing a little trick to the headlights, so you're definitely gonna wanna stick around and check out the videos that are coming, because I have some cool stuff coming to these headlights. So guys, just an update video to kind of show you guys what's going on the wiring. This has taken some time. I'm not able to be out here a lot, but when I am able to be out here, I want to get a lot done. So I didn't want to film every little piece, but I wanted you guys to kind of follow along and see exactly what we're doing, exactly how we're doing it. I've showed you guys how to do these connectors. You can run wires any way you want. If you guys would like a wiring 101 course, I will be happy to do that. So let me know in the comments section down below if you'd like me to do a wiring 101. I will definitely go over wiring. A lot of viewers telling me that it's super hard for you to do, but I want you to know that it's actually very basic and very easy to do. You just got to know how to wire and what gauges of wire to use for the application that you're running. So, which is not really at all that hard to do. And I want to thank you for following this CFMOTO UForce 1000 XL build. We're going to be doing an R.N.G clutch kit to it. We're doing a windshield, rear window,